Hey guys, I'm kind of short. I feel like I need a booster box. But I got this awesome Britney Spears mic, so it's going to be a good day. How is everybody? Good. Like he said, I have 53 ways to tell your story beyond a press release. I stand between you and lunch, so sorry about that. Just kidding, we're not going to do 53. I'm going to tell you a little bit of a story. It all starts whenever I was 12 years old. I was super uncool. It's all right, I owned it. Still uncool, it's okay. And when I was 12, I played the viola. Not even like the cool orchestra instrument, like the one that nobody knows what it is. It's a little bit bigger than a violin. Never got the good parts, it's fine. And I had been playing for a couple of years, and at 12, I went to a new teacher. And this new teacher, I pulled out my sheet music, and I played my viola, and I was kind of amazing. I wasn't. And so we're going through this lesson, and she asks me to play a C. And I look at her, and I don't know what she means by this. See, I had learned to play viola by a technique that they teach young children by reading music, but also by sound and by listening to music. So I had never learned the names of the notes. I'd been playing viola for like 3 years at this point, and so she was incredibly disappointed. And needless to say, I did not last long in viola after this. I moved to trombone, which was so much cooler. It's not. And the reason I'm telling you this story is not just to show you how uncool I am, so to set your expectations low, but also because we're going to talk about something today called content marketing. That content marketing has been around since the beginning of advertising. The Michelin Guide, soap operas. Content marketing has been around forever, but we haven't started calling it content marketing since around 2010, 2013. So it's kind of this new language that we're all talking about, and we're all talking about all of these things to create content, but it's the first time in the last 5 to 10 years that we've been able to really kind of talk about it with one cohesive language. So that's one of the things I want to preface today by, is that I am going to share with you some ways that we do marketing at the University of Oklahoma, some ideas, and I'll tell you why. So I am from the University of Oklahoma, so a lot of my examples are from OU. If you did not go to OU, I'm sorry. You should have. So my job at OU is to tell the brand story on the web. I'm the Associate Vice President for essentially web marketing. I won't say the long title. And what we do is every time we have a project that we're working on, we think through all of these great ideas that especially my social media manager or web marketing manager, Candace Timmons, she comes up with some amazing ideas. She's awesome. You cannot have her. So she's awesome, comes up with these great ideas, but we have to think through this whole list every time we're coming up with new ideas. And the reason this story is kind of based on how to tell it beyond a press release is because you might have met her yesterday. Morgan Day was here. She used to be on my team, and she's not anymore, whatever. She's dead to me, I'm just kidding. And every time we had a new project come out, I would ask her to write a press release. She was our writer, and she would look at me like I was slowly trying to kill her because she did not want to write a press release every single day for every project. And what we compromised on was finding new ways to tell those stories beyond that traditional press release. So one of the instances of this is we were announcing that Apple Pay was open, or it was available campus-wide at the university, and she posted a really fun listicle. She asked me, can I do this instead of a press release? And I said yes, so I didn't have to have her look at me like I was trying to kill her. And it went viral. Mac Rumors picked it up, Apple News picked it up, thousands of people were talking about it in the first day. The media picked it up, so guess what? We were able to reach the media without writing a traditional press release, and it was much more fun and exciting. Even though a press release is still necessary in a lot of ways, these are hopefully some tools that we can take it beyond that. So one of the things that I'm hoping to try to do today is not just give a list of ideas. But I have 53 ideas. I'm sure you guys have 100, maybe 200 more. There are lists out there. If you Google them right now, there are 25 ways to content market. There are 15 ways. So this is 53 ways, so it's more, it's better. And the great thing is at the end of this, I'm going to share a link with you. It's on a Listly. Has anyone ever used Listly? No? Oh, good. You all get to use something new. Listly lets you contribute to this list as well. So my hope is that we can create a content toolbox that you can steal my ideas and I can steal your ideas. So see why I did this presentation? It's so I can get your ideas. So that's what today is. We are going to talk about things that cost absolutely nothing to things that cost all the dollars. Because you have different clients or your own brand may have different budgets. So let's get into it. We're going to do 12 today because like I said, I know lunch is coming and you're going to riot if I keep you here all afternoon. Let's start with the silent film. And I put little dollar signs, kind of like Yelp, associated to how much this might cost, but this you could actually do for fairly cheap as well. So did you know that 85% of Facebook videos are being viewed without their sound? This is probably because we're all watching them at work and we don't want our boss to know that we're watching them. It's all right. Or if you're like me, you have a toddler like waking up in the middle of the night and you're trying to rock them to sleep and you're super bored. So anyway, silent films are a huge opportunity. And I think about 95% of videos shared on Facebook right now are food videos. That's not a real stat, I made that up, but I think it's true. I think I know how to make every food that's known to man at this point, but Tasty is doing some amazing things with these. And what we've seen is we were trying to promote OU research, which is not necessarily the most exciting topic for a lot of our fans who are fans for us, who are our fans maybe for football or some of our more traditional, fan engagement opportunities. So we wanted to promote a silent video that talked about electric fish. One of the researchers is doing some great research on this at OU. This shows, I think, 10,000 views. We now have over 17,000 views on this one 30-second video. That is huge for us. Which brings me to another thing on this. If you are not uploading your videos directly to Facebook, you're missing a huge opportunity. Look and see what Facebook is doing and what they're promoting. That's what they're going to promote in their algorithm to show up at the top of the news feeds. So live Facebook video, we're getting 60,000 views every time we do a live Facebook video. Uploading videos directly to Facebook, the 360 videos and photos, you can buy a $350 camera to do 360-degree videos. All of those things are showing up really high in Facebook's algorithm, so make sure that you're playing into that. Number 2, quizzes. We've been taking quizzes since 17 magazine came out, all the way back in the day. I think we all know what Hogwarts house we're sorted into and what Friends character we would be. By the way, I'm Slytherin and Monica. Apparently I'm really unlikable. But they're also really great for our brands. So, oops. So quizzes are a really fun way for us to promote content. So at the university, we did something where it's, what does your personality say what online course you should take? So a really fun way to promote things that may not always necessarily be that engaging on their own. Fortune actually did a great thing where they have an article about the most powerful women in America. And then what they did is they created a quiz to go along with that. So great way to cross-promote with 2 different types of content talking about exactly the same thing. Just a note, we use Playbuzz quizzes because BuzzFeed stopped letting brands, a few years ago use or create content on BuzzFeed. So Playbuzz quizzes does the same thing. It's a really great opportunity. Next are Snapchat Geo Filters. We talked about this yesterday, so I don't have to talk about it. No, I will. Okay, so how many of you have used a Snapchat Geo Filter at some point? Like tagged your photos with a geo filter. Good, we have some in the room. If you don't know how to do that, please find me afterwards. I know Snapchat is maybe the most unusable app in the history of the world, so old people won't know how to use it like me. But the great thing about Snapchat geo filters is they're extremely cheap for a brand to create these. So there are 2 Confluence Snapchat filters. One is from the conference itself, it's official. And then I have one that kind of goes along with my hand-drawn slides. And I did this just to kind of try it out and see how easy it was. It's extremely easy, you guys. I geofenced Jess Will Rogers for 2 days. It cost $20. So there's a really inexpensive way to create brand awareness at an event or something like that, birthday party, whatever the case may be. Oh, also that's my son, and he puts spoons on his nose, and he's really funny, but whatever. Speaking of Snapchat, let's talk about takeovers. So yesterday we learned maybe a fan should not take over your Snapchat. I agree with that. Same thing with Instagram. And I talk about these interchangeably now that they're essentially the same thing with stories. And I'll also talk about Twitter on this as well. But what we've been doing is, I will let you in a little secret. We are at the capacity, we're at max capacity for the amount of social networks or social areas that we can engage on due to resources. So what we've been doing is finding really trustworthy people within our organization to take over our Snapchat for the day. So we have deans, we have faculty, we have students that we really trust. This might be a great opportunity to show some behind the scenes things from your CEO's perspective or your mailroom attendant's perspective. Show all capacities of your brand through this really great opportunity. And we're getting great views. So 5,000 views just on this one picture alone on this story. So we're seeing great things there. Next are Flatlay photos. These came about really prominently whenever Pinterest first came out. They've kind of gone away a little bit, but still very popular and do great things for brands. So when we're talking about Flatlays, we're talking about, top down, and you can do Flatlays for, they started off with the traditional outfits is kind of how Flatlays started, but we're seeing them for food. We saw the Sonic top-down photos yesterday. That's essentially a Flatlay for a milkshake. And lots of different options for Flatlays. In the Listly that I linked to at the end, there's a great kind of guide for how to make sure that you have the best Flatlay photos. Shop Good in Oklahoma City has done a great one in partnership with Roxy's Ice Cream. I picked this just because I really like ice cream. And they did a great job, put nail polish in there, a swell bottle, things that are a little bit more exciting than just a t-shirt and a gift card. So did a great job with product marketing for that. And that brings us into, when we talk about Instagram Flatlays, let's also talk about Like to Know It. Has anybody ever used Like to Know It before? Oh, good, it's brand new. I love when we have brand new things. Okay, so Like to Know It is a little bit tricky. Let's say that I am going to visit somebody, or that I follow brands on Instagram, and I want to know what Khloe Kardashian wears every time she posts something. I don't, but let's say I do. And so I go on liketoknow.it, and I sign up with my email. And so anytime Khloe Kardashian posts something on Instagram and she tags Like to Know It, I know that I can like that photo. I'm going to get an email with a link to all of the brands that she's wearing in that photo. So it's great for the user of Instagram. It's also great for if you are a brand and you want to get in on Like to Know It so that you can tag your photos with those different brands as well. They only accept, very specific type of brands, so not everybody will be accepted, but even if you don't use Like to Know It, make sure you're tagging all of your Instagram photos and things like that with the brands themselves so that they can share it, get a lot more attention that way. Next are cause partnerships. This is a great one that Plenty is doing. Who's been to Plenty on Broadway? I have a blanket from there that I'm obsessed with, so I feel like I have to plug them. So Plenty does a great thing where they have a new line called Going Public, and they give a portion of their proceeds to Oklahoma City Public Schools based on this new line. It's an excellent way to not only get more attention and more audience participation, but also a great way for us to feel great about your brand. So cause partnerships are an excellent way to create more content, to make sure that there's a great way to promote a story that you're trying to tell through a great organization. I have a cause that I'm going to promote today. How many of you have noticed that we are severely lacking a number of women on this stage this year? There are only a few women. And it is not anyone's fault except for our own for not submitting enough presentations It's not Big Wing's fault. So my challenge to you guys and my cause that I'm going to market right now is for more women. I want everyone in this room to submit a presentation next year, and I will buy you a candy bar because, you know, what else do you need in life? And so I want to see more women up here on this stage next year. So that's my tangent, but that's my cause. Oops, next are podcasts. Oh, it's not, there we go. Next are podcasts. Do any of you create your own podcasts now? A few in the room, that's great. You guys are the experts, and a podcast is an excellent way to get attention out about your brand. You can put it out weekly, you can put it out monthly. It's a little bit tricky figuring out the right format of your podcast, but I know I listen to podcasts every single day on the way to work. My husband does too. This is a video from, it's kind of a side video from a This American Life podcast, but you can do videos, you can just do audio. Audio does great still. I will say at the university, we have something called iTunes U, which is essentially the university's podcasting platform, and we get 3,500 views a month just from the content that's already up there. We're not promoting it at all. It is just based on search. This is perfect for SEO. Do lots of podcasts, make sure they're transcribed, not only for ADA reasons, but also for search reasons. And it's a really great resource for us. Maybe, there we go. How-to videos. So another little secret about me is that I'm secretly obsessed with IKEA hacks. I'm also obsessed with abandoned buildings, but they don't make abandoned buildings videos. So how-to videos are also excellent for SEO. People are always looking how to do something. If you are a developer, create a how-to video about one of your kind of small secrets. It's not going to hurt your business. Just create some how-to videos that make sure that the industry knows that you are the expert. A great way to do this is, has anybody used Adobe Spark before? It's a free service from Adobe, and what it does is it allows you, and we saw one from YouTube yesterday, just a really easy way to create videos that are really slick. They do great, the silent videos, they're great for those, great for how-to videos, but yeah, Adobe creates this great tool to produce that. But again, how-to videos, great way for SEO. This is one of those things that people are going to come to you for the content instead of you trying to push it out. How-to videos are one of those areas. Number 10, photo album essays. So we have photo albums and we have articles, and they got married and had little photo album essay babies. So New York Times does a great job of this. They have this Muhammad Ali photo album that they did, and what it is it's essentially a photo and then just a few sentences next to it. You can use Facebook photo albums for this. You can use Adobe Spark's web content for this. You can do really cool things with photos and videos, make it very visual, or photos and articles, and make it very visual. Just cut up your article into smaller chunks, work with your editor to make sure that it kind of works and flows. And it makes a really interesting story beyond just kind of the traditional article with a couple of photos in there. So again, New York Times does a great job with this. Number 11, before and after. So sometimes we have photos that we want to show that are kind of boring, but we have to show them. And so how do we make a boring photo fun and exciting to share? What we can do is we can create before and after photos. So let's say you have a website. You want to show before and after of a website, or of a logo, or of a location. This is Campus Corner in Norman. And if we just shared the bottom photo, it might get some likes. People like Campus Corner. But by showing it before and after, we get a great opportunity to catch people who might be interested in history, or interested in kind of, might have been really attached to what it was in the 1950s. But before and after photos do great for photos, or for, screenshots that may be kind of boring in their own right. We're at number 12, you guys. We're in our last one. Number 12 are data graphics. We could spend all day talking about data, and I probably would if you let me. But once we've done all of this research, once we've created all of this, all of these statistics, one of the things that we have to figure out is how do we share this in a way that really connects with our audience. So these are just some examples. We try to make sure that anytime we're sharing a stat, we're sharing either just kind of fun graphic or a photo with text over it, something that really makes it more exciting than just a stat on a page. So we used Over, which is one of my favorite iPhone apps. We used Over for most of these. It does text and a photo. It'll let you, it does some Photoshop things, like lets you take off some of the text to make it look like it's behind an image. Does some really fun things there. We also use Canva, which I also know we talked about yesterday. Canva does great for kind of invitations or graphics like this with more of a decorative element to them. So Canva and Over are two of my favorite apps to use for these kinds of things. So those are all. I want you guys to contribute, like I said. So if you go to bit.ly/eyarb, it's my gangsta name, bit.ly/eyarb, then you can find the link to Listly there, or that is the link to Listly, and that has all 53 ideas. Again, I want you guys to contribute because I'm going to steal your ideas. And please feel free to connect with me on Twitter. And I post lots of kid photos though, so if you don't want to follow me, I totally understand. I'm just giving you fair warning about that before I end. So thank you guys.
Thank you, Erin. Okay, so I'm curious. These are really creative. What's a favorite storytelling?
Favorite? Oh, that's a tough one. I mean, I always think that quizzes and lists are, really easy to create. They're really fun to create. People enjoy them. Animated GIFs always make something more exciting. So lists and quizzes are probably my favorite, just because it creates that interaction with our end user.
Can you give me some ideas of some really good results you got from a recent storytelling project?
Ooh, that's a good one. Yeah. So I already told the story about Apple Pay. Another one we're just getting ready to release today. So this isn't necessarily hasn't happened yet, but today we're getting ready to release another silent film. It's about MRSA. Again, a kind of strange, not necessarily that exciting topic. But I know it's going to be huge on Facebook video, and it's another silent film, like I said, so I'm excited to see what the numbers are on that.
All right. Well, guys, if you want to talk to Erin Yarbrough about any more storytelling ideas or opportunities, 53, you only showed 12, so that's
only showed 12, so you're going to have to either trust me or go to the site
40,
to see the rest. Yeah.
40-something. She's got plenty to talk about at lunch, which we're going to have in just a minute. Thank you, Erin.
Yeah, thanks, guys.